Now, Sierra Leone has one of the highest rates of female genital mutilation in Africa. The UN Children Fund, UNICEF, estimates that 90% of girls have been cut. Practice often takes place as part of an initiation into secret societies, but the government banned such practices in January this year. The country's First Lady, Fatima Maada, a strong advocate of girls' rights, talked about the issue with the BBC's Zuhura Yunus.
When I talk about FGM, people tend to misconstrue my statement. This fact is, I am a circumcised woman. And being a circumcised woman, it's not like I was circumcised when I was 18. I was circumcised when I was a child. So I don't know how it feels like not being a circumcised person. You know, and I haven't got complications. It doesn't mean that those complications are not out there. That's not what I'm saying. That's not like I'm trying to disrespect other people, I mean, what is happening to them. But for me to stand there and say FGM is wrong, FGM is bad, FGM is this, is that, I have to, it's like you have to really believe it from your gut.
But have you heard stories in your society of other people who've been highly affected by FGM?
This is the problem. And Sierra Leone, they talk about it. They said this is happening, but no one has actually given me the proof. No one has given me the statistics to say this is what is going on, and that's the reason why we're saying this. If the whole world is crying about FGM, I mean, it's their right to cry about it. I'm not going to go and tell people, yes, I mean, you know what, go and do circumcision. I have 2 daughters. None of them are circumcised.
Why?
Well, this is the point. For me, it is not because I'm against circumcision. It's the fact that, for myself, I know even you take needles to inject my daughters, they scream, they cry, and I do not want to see my child cry.
But surely, Lady Fatima, you're exposed enough, and I'm sure you've heard stories of extra bleeding. People have died because of FGM. I'm sure you've heard of that. Or do you necessarily want to have statistics first before you can fight against FGM?
I have heard of all of those issues, but you know, the gravity of it is in the way circumcision is done in Sierra Leone and the way it is done in other places are not the same. You know, those horrific stories you hear, they're attached to another country. I am not saying that, I mean, circumcision in Sierra Leone should continue. But what I'm saying to people is the fact that when people, campaigners, when they go out and talk about circumcision, they also have to be honest. The government in Sierra Leone has already have an understanding with the people doing this that you cannot do it until the child is 18. And I am sure if we campaign on that platform to say the child has to be 18, when you are 18, there is no way on this planet Earth that at the age of 18 you will want to go and ask somebody to circumcise you.
So why don't you just prohibit it altogether then?
Well, I'm not the government. I am not the one who make the law. I'm just the First Lady. I don't make the law. These laws has been there before I was born. These are things that have been there. And I am, as a First Lady, doesn't mean I have the power to tell the government what to do. No, I don't.